So Texas fought the whole Texas Revolution to get their independence from Mexico, and that's essentially what California is going to do. They're just going to do it on a much quicker time scale. They're going to do all this their whole thing on a much more accelerated speed. So what happens in California is what we call the Bear Flag Revolt. So if you know California Republic, the brand, this is actually their logo, right? This bear. And we call it the Bear Flag Revolt because this was the official flag for the Republic of California. So in June of 1846, what happens is a small group of Americans who are living in California under Mexican control, who don't like it, who want to be independent or part of the United States, just like in Texas, they revolt against the Mexican government, and they capture the leader of California, who was appointed by the Mexican government, sort of just like the Texans captured Santa Anna, and they force this guy to sign a treaty that recognizes California as an independent republic, just like they did to Santa Anna. So this establishes the Republic of California. So now that California is independent, California is actually only independent for about 1 month. It takes Stephen Kearny about 1 month to make it to California and take control of the state and will annex them shortly after. So now we also are controlling California. So things really start closing in when we get to the end of 1847. In 1847, this guy up here, General Winfield Scott, we'll talk about him once more when we get to the Civil War, but Winfield Scott is leading the American military into Mexico, and when they actually make it into Mexico City, the capital of Mexico, in September of 1847. So when we capture and take control in the capital of Mexico, that's pretty much the end of the war for Mexico. So that's the end of the fighting. We work over on a peace treaty over the next several months, and we finally signed that in 1848, and it is the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. So we signed the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, officially ending the Mexican-American War. But obviously, like in most treaties, whoever the winner is needs to get some sort of trophy, and our trophy is all of this land that you see here that is colored red. That is what we call the Mexican Cession, Cession, the Mexican Cession. So to cede something to someone is to give it to them, and Mexico gives us all this land. That's why we call it the Mexican Cession. Now, we don't just take this, because we won the war. We actually do pay them. We pay them $15 million for all of that land that you see that is red there, which is actually, half of what John Slidell was offered to pay for it. Had they been able to get their act together long enough to listen to his pitch, they could have made more money off of it, but because we fought the war, we were able to lower that price for ourselves a little bit. A few years later, in 1853, we will go back to Mexico to make one more treaty with them and one more purchase, which we call the Gadsden Purchase. And in the Gadsden Purchase, we sort of clarify the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, and we're more specific about the borders between the United States and Mexico. And when we do that, we get this little gold piece down here. This is what we get in the treaty, or not in the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. We get the gold piece in the Gadsden Purchase. So that is officially the end of the Mexican-American War, and now the mainland United States looks like it does today.